right, here we go. We're back again, and I've been seeing a lot of places where uh, people are, can't figure out why are people cheating and doing all of these different things? Why are they doing that? So if you give me a few minutes, I'm going to try to, because I'm always using the term demon infested because I was demon infested. I know that's a very real term. So I'm going to try to break it down in a small amount of time. So give me a few minutes and I'll try to break it down. All right. Plus I've made videos on this already on my other channel. And so I'm gonna be using a little bit of my other video in this video. But basically what I was saying in the other video is that demons are real. They're real, but they're not real like you think. Like you see this, it's not a living thing in your head, in your body. It's not not a living, breathing thing that needs oxygen. Well, it needs oxygen because you need the oxygen, but it personally doesn't need the oxygen, but it needs you to have the oxygen so it can survive. But it's not necessarily a self-sustaining entity like this. This is a caricature of that meaning of the word demon. So we're going to explore the mathematics of the word demon. So I'm going to play a little bit of the video, and then I'm going to make some remarks on it.
So, but what does it want? It wants to be
Talking
able
about
to
the demon.
regulate the electron flow in your body. I'm talking about the mathematical. I mean, people can
Wait a
just
minute,
say
what does it want?
distraction or have just like a lightning bolt can be a mile in the sky and come down and hit somebody. If the attraction is there or the force can but the force can get the vibratory information off of the charge that your body is carrying and recognize that your body is a more suitable living space, then it can go there.
I'll put the link to this video down in the description so you can watch the full video for yourself. But basically, I already went over the fact that a demon is not necessarily a person, living, breathing person, but it's actually a force. It's actually a force, all right, where it can make things happen, okay? It can make work happen, okay? All right, so we'll get back to the video. And all of this stuff is spelled out in this particular video, but I'm only going to use a portion of it. But anyway, we're going to jump ahead to where I'm actually describing the mathematics of what a demon is actually doing to your physical body.
Am I making myself clear? Good. So, but what does it want? It wants to be able to regulate the electron flow in your body.
So we get in the fact that a demon doesn't. The only thing the demon wants to do is regulate the electron flow in your body. Right? It's a force that wants to regulate the electron flow in your body. Okay, let's move on.
I'm talking about the mathematical. I mean, people can just say the spooky part, but I'm talking about the mathematical part. The mathematics of the situation is the demon is a force with a negative charge that comes into your body, sets up shop so that it can control the flow of electrons in your body.
Period.
It can make poles on your body. It can drive all electrons to any end of the body. It can control basically where the electrons go. Any free electron, it can control and send it there, or make free electrons and send them where they want to send them. You follow? So That's what they want to do. They want that control because then they know they feel safe in that environment. But here's the problem. When you feel bad, when you have bad feelings, or you have a trauma or some type of something like that, your body will try to correct that. You release hormones in your blood that will change the charge in your body. We good so far? So they will change the charge in your body, so your body will now have a negative charge. But what happens is your body tries to compensate for the negative charge by putting positive, trying to get more positive, more protons in the mix out there. Not floating. We know protons don't float without neutrons, but just getting atoms with more protons out there, put more protons out there, right? To try to balance it out, to try to make you feel better. That is at the point where you attract the demon. Because now you're filling up with so much positive energy to try to offset the negative energy that the protons can come in, the demon can come in, which we already said is a negative charge. Right? Right. Now, that's what they want. They want to control the electron flow of the body.
Okay, so I already went over that they want to control the electron flow of the body. They actually have. Matter of fact, let me show you this chart here.
Now, the question is, how do they? Now, we already pretty much said how they control the electron flow of the body. They can use the powers of magnetism and electricity to control that, right? They can drive, they can gather enough positive, they can attract enough positive protons in one location that they can attract more electrons. I mean, we're just doing the math here, right? Or they can drive, they can amass, they can gather so many electrons in one place that it can try to have the protons come, but they can block the proton flow. I'm just being real with you. They can actually block the proton flow because they can keep a store of protons that they can use to block the protons from coming in and balancing off the electrons gathered in one spot or another spot in the body. So far, so good. So here's how demons get people to do things. What the demons do is they use pressure. They use pressure. What they do is they will gather a massive amount of electrons in the brain, because that's usually where most of the electrical energy is going on, is in the brain. So that's usually where the demon will have most of its activity going on. So they will gather lots and lots of electrons in the brain.
What you talking
like
about?
I said before, like charges repel, opposite charges attract. When you have a massive amount of electrons that flood into the brain, it creates pressure. You know that headache that you get? It's pressure.
Oh my gosh.
It's pressure because the demons are putting pressure on you.
What are you talking about?
Pressure, because they want that chaos. When you have that chaos, you're releasing those hormones, which is bringing the positive, which brings them more, which attracts more electrons, so they can control what's going on. As long as you got this chaotic lifestyle going on, they can control that. So one way of doing that is they store a lot of electrons in the brain, and they will pull and attract and bring a lot of electrons to the brain, and then that repulsion of all those electrons will put pressure on the brain. Now your brain is a
Wait a minute,
computer
man.
that will try to figure out how do we release this pressure,
Holy smokes.
and
What
it
are you
will
talking
start
about?
moving water. The thoughts in your head are water, and it'll start moving water, and every little movement of that water will send out a small
Talking crazy.
little bit of a hormone.
Talking
If
crazy.
the demon likes the hormone that's being released, it'll move like it'll release the pressure. It'll move like it'll release the pressure. So your brain will say, oh, okay, see, I thought about that, doing that. That pressure got released a little bit. That's what I need to do. However,
Man, what are you talking about, man?
sometimes we're not ourselves, and something you think about doing is actually not a good thing. It's a chaotic thing. It causes more chaos, and that's what the demon is trying to do, drive you to do all this chaos. Because once, like I said, once you have that chaotic up and down hormone type situation going on in the body, demons they like that because they can control what's going on electrically. When you got these different hormones going on all the time, and it's chaos all over the place. They can get you upset, and they can set up a situation where they can bring in more electrons, or they can calm you down by bringing in more proton. I mean, they can do whatever they want to do electrically.
Man,
You're gonna feel it physically.
what are you talking about,
So now,
brother?
that's how they get you. That's how they get us.
I don't know about you,
Because
brother.
they put pressure in the brain,
Crazy.
all that repulsion in the brain. And see, once you do what they tell you to do, well, not they tell you to do, because they don't communicate within a oral language. It's pressure. They talk to you through pressure.
Oh, man.
You think, and you release a little bit of a hormone. They feel like they can control what's going on with that hormone being released. They release a little bit of the pressure to let your brain know, if you completely go through with this, I'm going to completely release the pressure.
Oh, man.
So
what
far, so
are
good.
you talking about, man? You talking crazy,
Now,
man. Let me turn you off, Brother Clarence.
The next,
Let me turn you off, Brother Clarence. I'm kidding, man. I know some of y'all gonna look at this and say, man, you crazy, but this is a snapshot or a little piece of the reality of what's going on out here. The reason why people are out here doing all of this crazy stuff out here is because of the demon infestation that we have in this country and on this planet. And therefore, the people don't have right guidance. And well, in this situation, the right guidance looks like the wrong guidance, and the wrong guidance looks like the right guidance, and everything's inside out and upside down. So you don't know who to take for a friend and who to take for an enemy unless you've been taught right. And I just went over a little bit of the mathematics of demons. There's people that have the spooky end, and they can tell you the spooky side. I just went over the mathematics of demons. I know I was demon infested, and I'm not today, thank you. But my life was in ruins on almost all fronts. I was putting up a good face, but so that's how I know this situation. That's how I know that people make mistakes. That's how I know that people are going to do things. I don't care how much you love somebody. I don't care how much you married to somebody. You think you marry somebody and you be married to them for 20 years and they're not going to slip and make a mistake or one or two mistakes in 20 years. You better know how to forgive them, or you have to throw all that away. You know what I mean? Men and women. You better know how to forgive. You better learn how to forgive, because if you don't, you're just going to be in a world of hurt. And people are, and most of us are not ourselves because we are being controlled by the demon infestation. And because people look at demon infestation like it's a joke, like what I'm saying now, I'm saying talking about being demon possessed. Half of you guys will probably look at me like I'm crazy. But you got turmoil somewhere in your life and you can't understand why this shit never works out. But you laughing at me. I'm telling you why it's not working out, because you got demons involved in your situation. You got to release those demons. And how you do that is by abstaining from different incompetent activities. See, the one thing that you know that that lets you know that somebody has demons is blatant incompetence. Blatant incompetence is the one way you know, where you see a person is pretty competent in most areas, but then they just lose their brain in one or other area. So they have that blatant incompetence, and they can't figure out how come they keep losing in this particular area or all over their life. And that is because of the demon activity. So that's what I want to say. We got to recognize. See, you can't get rid of something you don't recognize you carrying. In the video, I go on to talk about, other different a story. I forgot the name of the story. The Traveling Companion. I think that's the name of the story. Hans Christian Andersen, the Traveling Companion, where this man didn't know somebody was rolling with him. He didn't know who he was even rolling with. He didn't find out until the man was leaving him who he actually was. You know what I mean? But the whole time they were hanging out together, he didn't even know who he was. But my point is, we got demons that's involved with us, and we don't know it because we don't know how to recognize. Because not everybody, but most of the population has demons, and so therefore, it's difficult to recognize people that don't have the demons. See, you're going to recognize people that do have the demons because you're going to be on the same vibration as most of these people. But I'm telling you, when you get yourself clear, you will not be on the same vibration as hardly anyone. And you will recognize other people that are on that same vibration. When both of you come into a room, you will recognize it because you're just on the same vibration. So, but like I said, the first step, I went years and decades not knowing that I was engulfed in demons. I couldn't figure out why I could never get ahead. I was smart. I worked hard. I did all these different things, but I could never make anything work for myself because of the demon activity. It made me, even though I was working hard, I did other stupid stuff to sabotage the hard work. I was never able to completely put the whole plan together. And that's what you'll see. That's the number one sign of demon infestation is blatant incompetence. Blatant incompetence. They're either incompetent somewhere. At some point, they're incompetent with something. Either they got a lot of money, but their character sucks, or they're incompetent somewhere. And it's blatant. But people overlook it because the population is full of demons. So everybody's the same. It's like the Matrix. Everybody's the same. So everybody's vibrating at the same rate because they all have demons on them. And the people that don't have demons, what they want to do? They want to crucify you, right? That's why I got to keep my circle small. I can't go around the general population most of the time because people with demons, when they smell people without demons, they get angry. When you start, what you got to do, when you start questioning them, they will tolerate you in a public setting, the people with the demons. But when you start questioning them, and questioning them and questioning them, and you start have to reach inward more and more and more. And if the demon inside of them or demons inside of them get threatened, the demon will produce anger in the person. And all you're doing is questioning this person. But it might be your wife, your husband, your children. But alas, a day of separation is coming. A day of separation is coming. Like Lot and his family, a day of separation is coming. And these people are going to have to choose whether to listen and believe you or they're gonna be out there on their own, right? I mean, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? But I you know, I don't want to be out there by myself, man. I've been out there by myself, and I don't want that, man. You know, so I got the knowledge now, so I'm trying to spread it little by little. But if you are having problems, with anything where it's controlling your life, where when I say controlling your life, I mean you go to work all day thinking about when you're gonna get off to go do this thing, and you don't give nobody else none of your time, and the thing you thinking about is not bringing value to yourself and the people around you. For example, I'm not talking about you focusing on getting your real estate license. You get off and you just study to get your license so you can make extra money so you can take care of your family in a better way. That's not what I'm talking about. Or you going to school at night, or you going to trade school, or whatever you doing to try to improve yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about maybe you thinking about porn all day, or you thinking about church all day and leaving your husband at home or leaving your wife at home and not paying none of the bills, and you not taking care of business at home. And I don't care if you out in the street, you got to take care of your home first. Even if you don't have one supporter there, that wasn't the deal you signed. I'm talking about the men now. You signed a deal to take care of these people in your house. That's the deal you signed. Whether they was going to support you or not is irrelevant to the game. You signed up to support them. So you got to do what you got to do. So question is asked, why do people do the things they do? Why are people so mischievous? Why are people so, they're cutthroat and they don't have no codes of conduct that will bring positivity. And the reason why is because the demon technology and the demon thinking process and the demon infestation that is around. You think you got a pandemic with coronavirus? You got a pandemic with demons, and most of the people don't know, and most of the people won't listen, so they can't get helped. So they on their way to hell, or they in hell, and they can't be helped because they just simply they're too proud to say maybe that guy's right. That sounds crazy, but maybe he's right. Because I had to do it. Somebody had to come to me, and I had to say to myself, you know what? Maybe I should listen for myself before I take. Everybody else is saying this information is way out, but let me listen for myself. And once I thought about it for myself and I started studying for myself, I started seeing that, man, you know what? It was the opposite. This information is correct. That information is propaganda. Don't fall for the propaganda. What's the propaganda? The propaganda is everything's okay. Everybody's okay. Everybody's all right. Everybody's not all right. Most of us are demon infested, and we passing the demons on to our children. We passing the demons on to our family. We passing demons between each other. My thing is, what you want to do is clear yourself of the demons. Clear yourself. Once you clear yourself, you'll be able to see a lot clearer what's going on out here. You'll be able to see what's going on, and you'll be able to say to yourself, man, where I've been for 20 years, where I've been. You'll look in the mirror and you're like, you won't even recognize yourself. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be awakened and see yourself for the first time in a long time. See you. the you knew when you graduated high school or you graduated college, and before you got totally demon infested and were um, indoctrinated with the dogmas of the demon infested masses, starting from the top all the way down. But now, man, you can be free. It's a choice. Just like I teach other students, I teach them poverty is a choice, and demon infestation is a choice. You can choose to not. You can choose to not be demon infested, but you got to understand what demon infestation is, and you got to be willing to accept the reality that you might be demon infested yourself. That's why you cheating. That's why you lying. That's why you breaking people's hearts. That's why you a no good nigga. You a no good so and so, and nobody can trust your word because your word ain't shit, and you just a terrible individual. But the good news is you ain't got to stay that way. You ain't got to stay that way. You can change, because you looking at somebody who was all of that, and I changed. You know what I mean? I had a good facade, and the facade was good, and I meant well. I was well-meaning, but what good is well-meaning if you can't get nothing done, right? Well-meaning don't mean shit if you can't manifest anything, right? And I was working hard. I had faith. I was working, but because of the demons, man, I had too much incompetence to make anything work. I would always catch a snag somewhere and not be able to make it work because of the incompetence. You know what I mean? So this is a subject I know well. That's why I can speak on it. And I'm just telling you, this is why people cheat. This is why people lie. This is why people, besides the fear of, they don't really want, the fear comes from the demons really don't want, the demons don't want you to find out that you're demon possessed. Your fear is that the people will find out that you're not actually the person you're portraying. We all have that fear. Well, most of us have that fear, right? We don't want to be found out, hey, you ain't really the person you saying. So you talking about keeping a clean house, and we go to your house and it's trash everywhere, right? Or you a relationship person and you telling us, hey, under no circumstances you go for X, Y, or Z, and you doing X, Y, and Z to your family, and then you won't even let the person that's with you follow that advice, right? We a bunch of frauds out here. I know, man. I know. I could see them, man. I could see them from a mile away, man, because I could see demon infestation in people. I could see it because I could see it. I saw it in myself. Once my eyes was awake, once I was baptized in reality, I could see it. But this world got us in a fairy tale, and we got us to accept, it got us to accept, deception. Deception is just a way of life in this, the way we live today. Deception is a way of life. So that's, from, fake hair to fake eyes, fake butts, breasts, and whatever. Deception is just the way. Or people having a car that's really they renting, or they say leasing, but you really renting the car. But and I'm not saying leasing is bad. It makes sense in some situations, but you got to talk to a tax person to really see if leasing makes sense for you. But for the average person, leasing a car don't really make no sense. But that's a whole nother video. But I'm saying, see, that they tell you that leasing a car is a good thing, right? So, But that's not true. That's not the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the truth. But everything like is like that, man. This world is like a situation where most of the society is just accepting deception. That's why, and it's all because of the demon activity. But if we could all recognize it, we could all support each other in walking these demons off. Anyway, the question was asked: why do people do these things? Cheat, hurt people? I don't think people like Derek Jackson intended to hurt his wife. I just think that he is so demon laden that he can't. He is out of his mind as far as controlling the thing and having a clear mind. Demons won't let you have a clear mind. They'll always have you with the scatterbrain type of mind. So you can't never think clearly. You're always thinking from a place of, you know, a bad place. So you're never in a good place where you could take a time and think. That's why I was telling the brother last couple videos just to take time out. You take time out, and sometimes you have to cut your circle smaller just to get away from all of this, because almost every person you come in contact with is carrying demons. So if you cut your circle smaller, you're gonna cut your exposure to demons, and demons can jump on from one person to another person. Oh, brother Clarence, how can a demon? Now you really talking crazy. How can demon? Wait a minute. Wait. I'm telling you, you can't see a demon. It's a force, and it doesn't. It has a mass, but it has mass. It's able to mass enough of electrical charges together to have a mass, but it doesn't have a big enough mass where your skin will stop it from entering your body. Right? I'm saying that can happen. I could meet another person today that can have a demon. That demon feel the charges coming off of me and is attracted to me and leaves that person and comes to me. That could happen, right? And goes in or sends a representative to me, right? And so it could come into me, right? But you saying no, that can't happen, Clarence. But I'm saying it can happen. If you can get a coronavirus, which you can't see, a coronavirus, I'm saying a demon operates the same way. A coronavirus doesn't have no brain activity. It doesn't have no agenda, no script to go by. It just does what it does. And it gets into your body. You can't see it entering your body, and your skin, pores, and your mouth and everything. You have lots of places open, orifices that something can get in, right? Well, the same thing with demons, man. They can pass through skin pores and everything, and they go straight to the brain, because that's where all the electrical energy is happening, the heart and the brain. But the brain is where they can control a lot more. They can have a lot more things going on. If they mess with the heart, they might put you down. So they need you alive. So they don't mess with the heart. They go to the brain where they can regulate a lot of the other different stuff. Anyway, I'm just your little brother talking crazy. You tell me what you think. Am I crazy? And if I am, prove it. Prove it. I just gave you the math, and you can't fight the math. You might could fight me as a person, but you can't fight the mathematics of what I said. And I'll put the actual video that I'm talking about here down in the description. Till then, take care of yourself and never be the aggressor.